Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our family Sunday morning service. So our service will start with sutra chanting, Sambujo and Sanbutsuge. So if you have a material or sutra book in your place, please join me in reading Sambujo and Sanbutsuge. Thank you. Thank you. So let us read the golden chain together. Hands together in Gassho, please. Golden chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Okay, thank you very much for being here. Okay, so now I'd like to give my Dharma talk. So at the beginning of my Dharma talk, I'd like to share one of the hymns written by our founder, Shinran Shonin. Please join me in Gassho. The liberation wheel of light is without bound. Each person it touches, it is taught, is free from attachment to being and non-being. So take refuge in Amida, the enlightenment of non-discrimination. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Okay, so I have a question. Have you watched the Pixar's an animated comedy movie called Inside Out? I watched this movie recently, and I thought this story would give us a different perspective to accept our difficulties in our lives. So I'd like to share the story a little bit. Growing up can be a bumpy road, and it's not exception for Riley, who is an 11-year-old girl and was uprooted from her Midwest life when her father starts a new job in San Francisco. Like of us, Riley is guided by her emotions: joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness. The emotions live in headquarters, the control center inside Riley's mind, where they help advise her through everyday life. All the memories are categorized accordingly into happy memories, bad memories, long-term memories, and short-term memories, and stored there. And each memory affects a person to make the person who they are. As Riley and her emotion struggled to adjust to the new life in San Francisco, she tried to keep things positive. Her emotions conflict about how best to navigate the new life, house, and school. In Riley's mind, one of the main emotions, joy, shows its leadership and direct 4 other emotions to help Riley to have a happy and positive life in the new place. However, it doesn't go as joy wished because of disturbance. Joy, who always tried to think and accept things positively, felt like disgust was always in Riley's way. Then one day, both joy and disgust happened to run into trouble together. The troubles have a bad influence on Riley's school life and the relationship with her family. However, through the work of getting out of the trouble, Joy gradually realizes that she was wrong, and at the same time has learned an important thing. Joy always believed that happy and joyful moments are the most valuable things for Riley's life, and Joy didn't want Riley to have any negative feelings and bad experiences. But Joy realized that any feelings and incidents with which Riley experiences in her life, even if it is a sadness, disgust, fear, anger, or happiness, they are all necessary and important experiences for Riley's life for her to become who she is. I thought this was not just for this animated story, but it is the same with our real lives. It is natural for us to wish for more happy experiences and less bad and sad experiences happen in our lives. Although we sometimes cannot help experiencing sad and bad things, the truth is that we want to avoid those moments as much as possible. So we sometimes try not to show these sad and bad feelings, which comes from these experiences to others, but try to hide and forget them as if we haven't experienced anything. Many people probably believe that the more joy, the better, the less sadness and disgust, the better. Although we don't want to experience any difficulties, we can avoid experiences then sometimes. Shakyamuni Buddha tells us that is our limitations which we have in our lives. Then how can we get through this problem in Buddhism? Does Buddha tell us that we should see only the positive things, but don't need to see the negative side of our lives? No, Buddhism is not the teaching to avoid the negative or inconvenient things for us or ignore the difficulties. Rather, it is a teaching to see the things as they are and accept the reality and understand. Buddha's wisdom illuminates us to our world to guide us to see everything from different perspectives. With the teaching of dependent origination, things exist because of many causes and conditions. Looking back on my own life, I have experienced many happy moments at the same time, countless difficulties and hardships. For example, after graduating from university, I worked at the medical company for 2 years. But I experienced many difficulties during that time. I had trouble getting along with people at work, maybe because I was immature at the time. I couldn't enjoy my life at all, and I didn't know what I lived for. When I was struggling over my life, my grandma, who is also a minister, suggested that I study the teaching of Buddhism in Kyoto, Japan. At that time, I had a very hard time and I just wanted to escape my reality. And I casually decided to quit my previous job and study Buddhism and to become a minister. But thanks to the studying Buddhism in Kyoto, I feel like I received different perspectives with which to see the world, and realized that I could reflect upon my difficult experiences and use those new perspectives in my life. Before studying Buddhism, I wanted to erase my bad memories from my mind, and I thought those experiences just tortured me. However, I learned many important lessons to grow myself from even the experiences. Those things gave me an opportunity to stop me, who was tangled and confused, and to think about my life, and to encounter the teaching of Dharma. According to the hymn written by our founder Shunon Shonin, which I read at the beginning of my Dharma Talk, the liberation wheel of light is without bound. Each person it touches, it is taught, is free from attachment to being and non-being. So take refuge in Amida, the enlightenment of non-discrimination. We might not be able to see the meaning of a negative incident to our lives because they seem meaningless, useless, and valueless to us. As long as we see the world as good or bad, meaningless or meaningful for our lives, for ourselves, we are still bound by our own one-sided perspectives of being and non-being. But seeing the world through the Buddha's guidance, we can gradually realize that every bit of my life experience was necessary to make me who I am. And we couldn't be what we are without those experiences, which seem meaningless, useless, and valueless to our lives. Now, we are still in a difficult situation due to the pandemic, and we live with some uncertainty. If you see the situation, whether meaningful or meaningless to your lives, that's it. That's it. It's up to you. But free from our narrow insight, we will be able to accept even this difficulty as an opportunity to deepen our lives with Buddhist wisdom and compassion. This gives us the opportunity to turn our perspectives inside out. If we can become aware of these new perspectives in our lives, the life of gratitude will be displayed in front of us, here and now. Thank you for listening. So I'd like to conclude my Dharma talk with Gassho. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. Again, I thank you very much for your participation. Over the past 2 weeks, we had the Obon Festival and Obon service. So I had a really good time during the Obon Festival and Obon service. Thank you everyone for participating and supporting all activities and events regarding Obon. Thank you. Although we couldn't still hold a full in-person Obon event because of the constant state of uncertainty, I was so happy that I could partially feel the kind of exciting vibes of the festival, Obon Festival, for our members' lively smiles. So I felt like I could understand a little bit why people always told how fun and how exciting our Obon was. And looking back on my life, I have never been so happy in my life because I was able to see our members and family, friends, and many other people. So we might have taken it for granted until the pre-pandemic. Okay, but if we hadn't experienced many difficulties and inconveniences because of the pandemic over the past year, we would have never been able to feel the joy of being able to see and mingle with people and to appreciate what we have, what we already have. So I believe that this is one of the many things of what pandemic thing taught us. So thanks to Obon Festival, Obon service this year, I was able to recollect my many joys in my life. Thank you. Okay, this will conclude our family morning service. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. So I'd like to conclude this service with Gassho. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Thank you, everyone.